You need to get ready for a major move in Solana's price. The latest news is maybe the biggest thing to ever happen to Solana. And of course, that news is there's now a MicroStrategy of Solana. And now MicroStrategy's a company that added Bitcoin to its balance sheet. And now companies are adding Solana to their balance sheet. And this has had some explosive price action for these stocks. And so I expect this move to be continued and copied by other companies. Now, the company is called Janiver, and like they said, they're taking a page from the Michael Saylor playbook, which is MicroStrategy, now known as Strategy, and they are adding Solana to their stack instead of Bitcoin. And so they purchased 80,000 Solana, this company, Janiver, and that brought their total to 160,000 as part of their new Treasury strategy. They are the first publicly traded U.S. firm to focus its Treasury strategy on Solana cryptocurrency, and that stock surged 1,700%, although it has corrected a little bit since then. Now, currently, their Solana stack is worth roughly about $21 million, and their share price has gone up almost 20x because of this. Now, they just got 80,000 Solana tokens. It cost them $10 million, and now they have the 163K. So the pivot for this company, the reason they switched to a Solana strategy for their balance sheet is their team of former executives from Kraken bought a majority ownership of this firm earlier this month. And so, like I said, the stock went nuts. It started $4 or $5 a share before they started the strategy, popped all the way to $73. So I expect a lot of other companies to say, hey, why is our stock down? Look at that stock over there. It went from $5 to $70, and all they did is spend some money on some Solana. This is an easy strategy to copy. Now, they aren't the only company making moves. It seems like this is rolling over. Now, we have other companies kind of copying the strategy. Galaxy Digital, they had a lot of money in Ethereum, and they're switching their Ethereum bag now to Solana. They withdrew $28 million in Solana, deposited $60 million in ETH, and so this indicates they're changing their corporate treasury strategy. Now, we're going to jump into the charts in a second, but there's one other major news that I want to cover. Canada has now launched 4 spot Solana ETFs, beating the US to market, and these are the first spot Solana ETFs in all of North America. I want to give a quick shout out to LBank Exchange. It is my favorite exchange to get all of the latest trading pairs, all of the hottest meme coins and altcoins. You can go to the spot trading, or you could do futures perpetual trading, and we have a link down below with the tutorial on the top of our page. Tons and tons of features here, 24/7 customer support, huge reach here, huge volume, millions of users, and they have over 200 countries and regions covered. So go ahead, open up an account, deposit some funds, and start your trading journey. But now let's look at the charts, and we're going to look at 3 different Solana charts and why I am bullish on this altcoin. First chart we're looking at is Sol ETH. So this is Solana priced in Ethereum, and right now each Solana is roughly 5.7% of an Ethereum or an Ether token. So in the Sol ETH chart, I couldn't help but notice a cup and handle pattern with a retest breakout. And so, you kind of see the picture right here. We have your little cup, you'll create a handle, and then typically your breakout is going to be equal for the distance of the cup. And if we look right here, nice cup, nice handle, patented retest, maybe it's a little bit of a W pattern there or double bottom, patented retest, and now next off for the races for where this can be heading. So classic cup, classic handle, and then we got the retest. So this is a very bullish chart for Solana. Next chart we're looking at is Solana priced in Bitcoin, and we just got done having a daily bullish divergence. This doesn't happen all that often. Now, Sol BTC, the blue lines you're looking at, is just groups of 10,000 Satoshis, and so Solana, kind of will listen to this range. You can see it just traded sideways in that range between 20,000 and 30,000 Satoshis, and so this is just Solana relative to Bitcoin. But like I said, we got a bullish divergence on the daily RSI. You can see higher lows while the price made lower lows. This is not a thing that happens often. I had to go back years before I saw this strategy again, or before I saw this pattern play out. You can see a lot of the bottoms, no bullish divergence. Bottom here, no bullish divergence. Bottom here, no bullish divergence. So we're not seeing a lot of bullish divergence. Another bottom, no bullish divergence. You got to go all the way back to 2022, June 22, where we had a bullish divergence there. And in this is January to February, we had a bullish divergence there as well. Each single time we came up to a 10,000 Satoshi resistance. So this resistance brought us to 30,000 Satoshis, and then this resistance stopped it out at 20,000 Satoshis. So if we fast forward to today, I'm making the prediction here that this bullish divergence is going to get us to the 20,000 Satoshi mark. And if we were to measure this move, that is going to give us about a 25% pump. And this is great because if Bitcoin is flat, your Solana bag is going to pump 25%. But if Bitcoin goes up, this 25% really starts to grow. That's when you get a 50% pump or a 100% pump in your Solana price. All right, now we got one more chart I want to show you. And so it's not Solana price in ETH or Bitcoin. This is Sol USD. So this is your Solana price in dollars. And we just did a bullish breakout of this parallel channel. We've been stuck in this range for a pretty significant amount of time. You fast forward, it took us about 84 days to get out of this bearish range, and now we've came out, and I want to give a warning. We might turn a little bit bearish with a retest before things turn bullish. I am not saying Solana's going straight up. In fact, I'm seeing some signs it could have a little bit of a move down, but Solana on the long term, on the macro scale, this is a very bullish chart, and we just broke out of a falling wedge, which is also a bullish chart. Falling wedges typically break to the upside. Rising wedges typically break to the downside. The way you measure it is you find the maximum length of your wedge here where it connects, and then that's going to give us a $240 Solana. So Solana has a really good shot at hitting above $200 again. In fact, this could happen fairly soon too, in my opinion. But I would also, caution just slightly. We might retest this pattern as well. It's a pretty similar sloping pattern to the parallel channel here. And one of the reasons I'm looking at is Solana bridge flows on the daily, flipped a little bit bearish. Right now, ETH and Base and BNB is taking a little bit of the mind share, a little bit of the market share. You can see Solana bridge. This is money leaving Solana. A lot of it went into ETH, Base, and Arbitrum and BNB. And if you look at Solana money coming into Solana, decent amount came from Base, Arbitrum, ETH, BNB, but slightly less. So just, a little bearish outlook, a little cautious optimism here. Could check for a little retest here before it breaks out. But overall, very, very bullish on Solana, especially when you price in Bitcoin, especially when you price in Ethereum. Looks like when alt season kicks off, Solana might be one of the kings of the road here. And so do not sleep on your Sol bag. I'm DZ for Discover Crypto, and I'll see you and your Solana at the top.